Antidulums. You heard about antidulums? These are antidulums. Pendulums combined with cat-eye, where the pendulum, the poi, is going in the opposite direction than the hand. So this tutorial is about this particular combination of two antidulums, which result in this beautiful kind of pendulum cat-eye water move. If you watched the video from Stromboli Poi Retreat, where Ronan explains the 4 different types of pendulums, good for you, because it included a lot of information about what this antidulum is. If you have not watched it, you can listen to Mr. Ronan right now.
Antidulum. This one is like a combination between a cat-eye and an isolated pendulum. Here I have 2 circles. I've got the circle of the hand and I've got the circle of the poi. You know, so they're both going opposite directions. The breakdown of how I learned it was to make an isolated pendulum at the top, drop it down like a cap. You know that anti-spin feeling, that bounce, and that brings it back up again. Isolate over, drop down. Even to think of almost like if you had a box in front of you, you know, where you came up one side, you isolate it over, and you drop down the other side, and then you want to make that switch again so you can come back up.
However, I believe that in order to do this move, you don't actually really need to understand the principle of the technical analysis, the breakdown of the move. Definitely, there's another way that you can learn it. It's much more simple, which I'm going to demonstrate. However, what you want to just be aware of, or what is beautiful about this move and why this looks good, is the fact that in this case both poi and my hands are in water timing, right? In water mode, in split time, same direction. However, the poi are going in opposite direction than the hands. So my hands are going in counterclockwise water, right? They essentially do this. However, the poi are going in clockwise, right? They do this. So altogether, we have 2 different timings, 2 different waters, and the result is that. But what's even more interesting is actually that the timing of the poi, of the swing, is technically, or it also feels much more like air. And this is how you're going to start this move also. If you just swing your poi like this, in air, back and forth, and you will start moving your hands in split time, or in a circle, and you will start moving your hands in a circular movement. Just take this and start to do circles with the hands. You still feel this air timing because the poi go always in opposite direction. But since you're moving your hands up and down, the result is something that looks like water, even though it really feels much more like air to me, because there is this swing, you know, because it's 2 pendulums, so there are 2 bottoms of a circle. In regular water, when one poi swings down, the other one would go up. But in this case, because it's a pendulum, so the poi never swings up, there are 2 bottoms, right? They both swing down and both swing down. The only difference is that the one hand is on top of the other, but still there is this swing, right? So first thing you want to try is actually this. Just to get used to this movement of air pendulum, but drawing circles with your hands, resulting in water timing, water mode. You should try this also perhaps with a mirror, so you can see the water, but you should feel the air. All right, and the next thing you're going to try now is adding some sort of isolation to it. Because like Ronan mentioned, you know, there's always like this kind of cap dip and swing over. Or basically isolate isolated pendulum mixed with a cat eye, as Ronan explained. So what you need to learn is this kind of isolation, yeah, like kind of isolated pendulum. And basically with both hands. So what you're gonna do now is you want to swing the poi in air like this, just like we did, now when we were doing this, blah, blah, blah. But now just keep one hand on top of the other. And try to isolate both. So what's gonna happen is that there is this alignment of this poi and this hand. And actually what you have to do now in order to get to the final move is just starting to draw those circles that you just did, but with these isolations. So isolating, and I want to start drawing those circles. But perhaps it won't be as easy as that. So there is something that you should learn to see that's going to help you to clear that move. Because there are these two alignments, right? Which you can nicely see in the slow motion. There's always the ball and the hand go together from one side, and then the other ball and the other hand go in the other side. And as it goes on, you see there's this moment where always the ball and the hand go from here to there, but once it's my left hand and the right poi, and then it's my right hand and the left poi. So right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. So right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand, right hand, left hand. And so this is something that you should look at and see. When you see that, like follow that. This is going to help you to do the move clean, yeah? It's basically there's one poi always inside and the other one always outside. It's not like they switch which one is outside and which one is inside during the move. One is fixed inside and the other one is fixed outside. So this is what you have practiced. You can use it to change direction. So then you can play with both. So you can do one, change direction and go back. It's nice to know both directions, so then you can easily include it in your flow without thinking about what's your preferred direction. However, I too have a direction that I prefer much more, and I'm much more clean with that one direction. It's this. So the poi going clockwise. If I go the other way, I can do that, but it's not as clean. It doesn't definitely feel so good. Then if you have been playing with some things like some hybrids, such as isolation and cat-eye, you can combine them together. Or basically any move which is in air, it could be, or there is some air mode in there, and some kind of alignment where one hand is chasing the other poi, such as circle and triquetra. You can then combine it with this. So you can do this, for instance, also a inwards triquetra with the circle, chasing the poi. And then when you're here in air, you have to be in air in order to enter. Then you can nicely enter that. And you can leave again. You could also combine it with pendulum and cap. Simply you always need to be in the same time in order to get into this move. And with the cap and cat-eye, and with the isolation and cat-eye. Alright guys, so I wish you good luck with this move. Remember, it's not easy, just like Ronan said.
Don't worry if it's not too intuitive. It can take a little bit of work just to get it going.
Follow each step. Try to always focus on this same timing, or else it won't be nice. And isolating the hands, or yeah. Practice in front of a mirror and enjoy the move. Particularly with fire, this looks really good. With fire, it's hot on your poi. The that fire. All right, so ciao bello, ciao belli.